dean of the Tzu Medical School. He has so many different titles. Himself is an anesthesiologist. So his title for today is Multiverse of the Anesthesiologist. So this book was published in 2023. And also this book was recommended by Master. And we are so honored to have him here today. And the graphic editors is from Kaohsiung today. So this poster was edited by our members in Kaohsiung. So after you listen to his presentation, maybe you could consider to purchase this book too. So at this 37th anniversary of the Tzu Hualien Hospital, this video was taken in 2023. So actually, it has been 39 years of the Hualien Tzu hospitals. Okay, let's listen to these videos where our interaction is like father and son. The president's Chen Zongying, after he took over this vice president's position, he dedicated himself to educate the future doctors, and also successfully transformed the lessons from 7 years into 6 years balance. Because of it is at the Hualien Tzu hospitals, so it must be related to also silent mentors. And we also going to watch these videos. We really appreciate our silent mentor. They were willing to devote their bodies, donate their body for the medical research. We also appreciate all the families to help to complete their wish. And this documentary also win the international award. And let's get a better understanding about Professor Chen. Well, at the clinic, he is the one that can find the problems of the patient. He can solve and cure the illness. But in a classroom, he is the teacher that can pass out all the knowledge to the students. And at the operation rooms, he is a vital position, as important as a surgeon, because some of the surgery require patient to stay semi-conscious or even fully awake, and how to let the patient feel unpained and not to be panicked. So actually, being an anesthesiologist is art. So ordinary people probably think that the anesthesia is only to let the patient feel free from pain, but the true anesthesia is to let patient can recover even smoothly and comfortably. Well, he treats this medical education as his lifetime missions. So every student that I teach, I see them as the future add to the society. I hope they are willing to help those people suffer from the disadvantage, and those families suffer from the poverty. So the other doctors say that the Professor Chen is very supportive, no matter the medical research or any questions that he encountered. The Professor Chen is always willing to help and support. Well, he was born in the poverty in a poor farming village from Zhanghua, and he worked his way up to become the dean of the medical school. So he exerts his power, his ability in all different roles. So let's greet Dr. Chen with the words, I would like to be with you because you have this positive energies. So let's appreciate our speaker with this phrase. Well, the master says that she really recommends such an important person, to come to the scene to share his experience with us. And I was so grateful for him to say yes to share at the scene. And for the past 2 months, I've been keep interrupting him to ask for the data for the PowerPoints for his script. But later on, you will learn more from him. Well, you can tell that he usually stays silent most of the time. He doesn't talk a lot. And and his wife, probably his wife does most of the talking at all times. Actually, usually when we invite a speaker from Hualien, usually we do this from the online. We will do the interview online. But he said that he was willing to come to the Kaohsiung, come to the stadiums to make his speech in person. We were so grateful that he made all the way back here to join us here. So by the time he come here, he also have a chance to meet Master Zongying. And let's talk about this book, even though it was published in 2023. And I wasn't really paying attention that we should have this, we should assign this book advertising to get his autographs. I didn't pay attention on this part. I'm sorry for that. And well, in this book, it said Dr. Chen Zongying is the first person to study neuro anesthesia in US. And I was very surprised that actually when your journey, during your journey of growing up, you suffer a lot and you live in a very simple life. And you never thought about you can become such a great person. But he posts a lot of pictures in this book. Those books is like from years and years ago. For me, probably nowadays I couldn't find any more pictures anymore. But when I was little, I probably didn't keep that much pictures. And I have to mention that both of his sons, they are all very excellent. His eldest son is also a doctor in Kaohsiung, and the youngest son is a teacher at the Tzu University. Let's through his 30 minutes presentation, let's get a better understanding about him. Starting from this moment, he is a vice president of Hualien Tzu hospitals. He carried a lot of identities. He is also the vice president of Tzu University, the dean of the College of Medicine, and hospital deputy superintendent. He played so many different roles. And especially as an anesthesiologist, usually when people awake from a surgery, the patient will never ever remember who is the person that performed this job. And well, anesthesiologist actually played a very vital role during the surgeries, and he is also the first one ever studied abroad, a major in the neural anesthesia. So you can start sharing out. So, Venerable Masters, and because a master is here with us at the seventh floors. So, dear families, brothers and sisters, good morning. So, I believe that you have all sitting here for quite a while, and I saw the teacher Mei Yun's very um, outstanding hostings. Actually, I'm kind of feel nervous to share. And due to the affinity of Master Shen's recommendations, I have this chance to share over here. I kind of feel nervous because before in front of me, there were so many wonderful speakers shared such a wonderful experience. And also the outstanding hosting from teacher Mei Yun. And I feel kind of stressful. And I will only have 30 minutes to share with you. And actually, I didn't really realize I play so many roles. And and at, at first, when I write these books, when they interviewed me and why they want me to write these books, I was I was wondering, I'm just an ordinary people. I'm the very low key persons. So why me? Why me to write these books? So usually I enjoy my life. I stay low key all of the time. I like to stay. I like to sit at the last row of the classroom. I try not to be seen. But in the recent years, the master keep encourage us to make an inventory of our lives. And I was um, told by masters many times. I did a lot of jobs. I did a lot of made a lot of efforts in Ziji. So master keep encouraging me that I should write down my stories what I did in Ziji. And actually, when I held the speech in Taipei and Taichung, I overheard that my speech was very popular. People have a very good comment about my speech. So I'm kind of getting famous now. So actually, the first one that wrote this overview for me, actually, when she writing this book, she didn't know how lucky she is. After she wrote this books, after she read this books, she read about her feedback of this book. She said that she received a kind of difficult job because this doctor doesn't really have any dramatic stories or because there's not much interaction with the patient. So, well, and usually anesthesiology is like emotionless and they are pale, they're silent, they're quiet, they don't talk much. So how do I write this overview about him? So I starting to answer her questions and I finally finished this book. And later on, she asked me, well, the reason I write this book, is I should promote this book myself. But then she told me that, well, she didn't realize that the character in this book, he is so humble and speechless. And I have no other choice but to write this overview for him. But the Master Zhen asked me, so how many books that you wrote already? Well, I was kind of wondering, I only write one book. And later on, I realized I misunderstand what Master means, that I should try to promote the books that I wrote as much as possible. So I would like to make a brief introduction about myself. I was born in Zhanghua, a very rural farming village. And probably most of you never heard of this place, Tianzhong. Even the train station, uh, usually the major train wouldn't stop at Tianzhong. And in my generations, usually when a teacher tell you to take tests in anywhere area, you just follow the teacher's instructions. So some of my classmates, they all get into Jianguo, the best high school in Taipei. And my teacher, and actually, I also got into the best high school in Taipei. And my teacher persuading my fathers to let me study in Taipei because this kid is very smart. Mm. So at first, my parents doesn't want they want me to read at the local high school because it's government funded, it's free. And eventually I studied in Taipei. And after I published these books, I was very grateful that even the Jingsi bookstore also published these books with us. And they will also pick up the words, they pick up the quotes in the books. The following quotes is like the ordinary person like us. We're always doing the right things no matter what. And even the technology is very powerful, but it can never replace the human emotion. And the other one is like when you have a chance, you have to step out of your comfort zone in order to know what you really want for it. So all I received is red envelopes. And I would like to tell you something about your childhood memories, my childhood memories. I have a chance to play baseball at that time. And actually, I really interested in the baseball, and I was chosen to be to represent my school. But in Taichung, they have another they have another pretty good baseball teams. So our team was beaten at the first game. Maybe because the name doesn't it's not really appropriate. That's why we lose the first game. And my family's grows of pineapple. So usually I follow my father to work at a farm of pineapple, and the store, the factory across my home is a just paper factories and also the factory of socks. So most of the socks or stockings that was part of my part-time job when in my childhood. Even though I didn't really do the good job, but I still can make some contribution to support the financial in my home. And at that time, my father had this diabetes, and I tried to understand this disease because the diabetes you need to control it. And but my father disagreed with me because he accused me trying to control his diet, and I feel very bad. I feel sorry about this because I keep telling him that not to eat this, not to eat that. So he complained a lot about me for being very bossy. And he, due to this diabetes, it related to kidney failure and also the neural damage. So I cannot bear for this failure because I cannot treat his disease. And then why did I choose the anesthesias? because I was studying in a government-funded medical school. I don't really get to choose the a subject I like to major, and then I choose to stay at the medical center. So the only choice I have is something, some subject like this special. It's not a common like internal or the surgery. So I can only choose anesthesiologist. And most of you probably don't really understand me. And most of most of people doesn't really understand what the anesthesiologist is because we don't really show our face a lot. And then, well, probably because I misunderstand this because before when I at the operation room, I saw the doctor only sit on a chair and doing nothing. And then after I starting to study these subjects, I starting to understand that there were so many I need to study. And usually we was called the doctor under the mask, but after COVID-19, I was there to talk about this because usually when you are wearing a mask, that means you're convicted with the virus. So, well, Master tell me that I should rephrase myself as the gatekeeper of life. So that's why you can imagine that you have to safeguard the patient's life during the surgeries. You cannot lose any lives. So safeguard the guardian of the life is really a good phrase for anesthesiology. Like this case is a 3 years old little boy is actually there was a canal during from the nose and um, throat. So because he's too young, we need to control him. So we need to apply a little bit anesthesia. And at the first, well, it's only minor surgery, but minutes after the saline irrigation began, the child's heart, the child's heart rate dropped and I was very nervous. I saw that something that I did wrong, and eventually, finally, the heart dropped, the heart rate stopped, and he cannot stop seizuring. So, in my heart, in my brains, there was a there was a phrase that pops out in my brain. It was a malignant hyperthermia. So I just treat him as a hyperthermia. And I was very lucky at that time. Only at well, at that time, only Chen has this medicine to cure the disease like this. So I bring this medicine to the children's intensive care unit, and at that time, I was so worried about that maybe there was something I did wrong, and maybe I would get sued by the family. Maybe they think that I applied for the wrong medicines. That's why it has these complications. And then, well, the family can see that how dedicated I am to take care of their son. So eventually, this child recovery from the illness. So from now on, I learned the lessons. I have to use the medicine. I have to use the medicine that cannot trigger the malignant hyperthermia. So be very careful about what kind of medicine you choose to apply on the patients. And for me, I had to make a certain choice whether I would like to stay at Chengda to become a resident or whether I will work at the Hualien hospitals. And there was one of my classmates, he already worked at the Tzu hospitals. And at well, well, he told me that if you work at Hualien, you can clock out at 3 o'clock sharp, and then you can have your free time and go to a sightseeing tour and go for the afternoon tea. It's very easy to work at Tzu Hospital. He told me that. But for my lifetime, I had never had a chance to take my wife to have a tea time by the lake. So, well, on my journey to Hualien, I drove over um, a bank, and I didn't really, I got lost. Well, because there was the journey, we encountered lots of difficulty on the way to Hualien. And so whole family, all of my family decided we're not going to go to Hualien because it's too hard to get there. And well, when I study in abroad, I would trying to find some medicine that can effectively control the pain without causing damage the brain tissues. And I sent a lot of resumes and applications, and only the United States, only the John Hopkins Medical Institution accept my applications. And when my professor told me that it is a very good school, you have to be there. And at that time, the 9/11 events, the terror attacks just happened at that year. So I was hesitating, should I go or not? And so I waited another 3 years. And my teacher, my wife and my teacher told me that they really encouraged me. This what a great opportunity, and it was funded by the government. Why don't you go and study there? And this are the picture of my life in the United States. I also learned a lesson that, well, before you go to work during a heavy snow day, you have to dig. Well, you have to clear the paths, and you have to clear the snow out of your cars. And I spent a lot of efforts to clear a car and find out that was my cars. So I learned a lesson. Next time, make sure it is my car before I start to clean it. And the other journey, I was supposed to attending a anesthesiologist. Well, after I board the flights, there was a flight attendant came over to tell me that I need to get out of the flight because the seat was already taken, and I was traveling with all of the flight attending, all of my families, and well, she told me that if I don't get off, she's going to call the police officers. So I get off the planes and I rent the cars. I tried to go to Florida by cars, and then I ran into a heavy storm, so I missed the conference. And actually, I missed the train. I missed the conference, and I told my boss what happens to me during the what happened to me on the flights. And the airlines actually sent me an apology note and also gave me 2 free tickets. And at that time, there was another incident happens in Taipei, in Taiwan. The SARS was happening in Taiwan, and lots of medical personnel was killed in Taiwan during SARS. Well, and I decided to went back to Taiwan because after all, it is my hometown. But at that time, the president Lin Xinrong, he heard about me that I just came back from United States, so he make all the efforts to try to recruit me to Hualien. And so I quit my job at the Chen and I went to Hualien City Hospital to work there because I agree with Master Zhengy's concept. And then later on, he asked me if I can take over the director of the anesthesiologist departments. In the second year, there's a free clinic, and I become the leader of the free clinics. And to perform the free clinic at the Indonesia Orchard. And at that time, every day we had to operate over 100 cases. And now I would like to talk about what I did in Tzu and Hualien hospitals. So usually, I would like to talk about my profession and my missions. And the value and the price is what we keep telling the students. How do I identify myself and my just an ordinary person? Sometimes I feel like it's hard for me to communicate with both sides. And I get lots of preaching from the masters. The master also teach me a lesson that you will not be the person who communicate on both sides. You have to be the bodhisattva who take care of both sides. And now, I used to be many roles in Hualien, but now I'm only work as a president in the medical schools. Well, and in Hualien, we saw the residents and because the weather there, because the humidity there, so all of the furniture that I moved to Hualien, it all get damaged. And then I tell my wife that I will soon move back to West Coast, but after 20 years, I still stay in Hualien, because I determined to turn these anesthesiologists into recognized medical centers. So I really work hard to dedicate my efforts to turn this into a respected departments. And over the years, we successfully separate three pairs of the conjoined twins. And the first pair, Zi En, Zi Ai, they were study at the nursing school in Hualien. They may become the future nursing staff. And also the other patient come from China. Well, you can see from the picture that his spinal bent over 90 degrees. So we are going to perform this spine correction surgeries. And this surgery was successfully correct. And later on, I find out that he already got married and started new lives.
And now it seems you are really good at teaching, train the other doctors. I think you better become the mentor of the teachers. And then after I think overnight, I decide to make decision. I'd really like to do the teaching of medical. So the 7 years of doctor, you have to reprogram the new program. And I become like, I really don't like FB, but I really have to join the FB, and there's no privacy on that. It seems like a lot of people were going to see that. For those students, I decide to combine all the activity. So on the pictures, you can see from 102, 1,100, you can see different kind of category because there are different years. From 100 to 107 years, and you can especially Med 100, they have 5 different groups. So I have 10 in one group. So I have the union meeting meals with them. If 5 group, we have 5 meals. So probably I spend a lot of time with all the students. So because of this, all the students, still the student call me the father of the team. So because of this, I bring them to do the starting to the search and the publish in the international. So my students all get the very best thesis. And then for example, they have the critic that Harry Potter's the story. And as a teacher to ask me to do write on blue and to open the game. Also, I like to do the applied tennis. And I really don't know that they all invite to join the activity. You are 8 years in here. You are longer study than us. Then we study 6 years, you study 8 years longer to study us. So like give the graduation to me for the 8 years and give me the certificate. And because of this, our medical team become the evaluation from 2023 and to 2024. And 6 year program, we can see we are very worried about 6 year program of medical doctor. At 7 years and the last year, and we can come do the comparison from the graph. And since we have to revolution, and we can see there's a good progress. 6 years program is very success. And compared to the Taiwan International, is a lot of students get certified to become a doctor. So, I set a program for 10 years for the medical doctor. We'll let the other student go to abroad to study, and Chen medical student then will get a scholarship and then to study overseas and become the real a good doctor. So you can see this from diagram. We have 38, and the professor they will get evaluated to become a professor. And you can see the Tsinghua University student they become the professor. Different areas, those are become very excellent doctors and professor in different area. And probably they will become the dean of the different department. And AI is will not be replaced. And we mentioned about AI from the previous speaker. And AI is very useful, but although AI is very important, but love cannot replace by the AI. From this, from our generation, we studied those, and then now we have Windows 95 from 1998, 98.5. And then now I'm 60, and now we have new program, new technology with AI. So we have to start it again from very beginning. And then AI cannot replace compassion, and AI probably will help the patients, especially we have the silent mentor teacher. We have the different have design. So we have do this for the fighter, and then we have I bring the student go to the free clinic and go to Philippines to do the service as well. And now we have 22. We're going to Philippines, in Philippines, well, 23 students. From this, you can somehow, you have to recruit the money. We have to see. This is a free. This is artificial limb to let the patient regain how to walk again. And you can see, let all the medical students to really get into life, you know the difficult, and you feel lucky to have right now. And we're not just to have what we have done here, and speech silence mentor teach us a lot, and let a lot of global wise know we have silence teacher in Zhiji. And now we can 3D digital program all the database and keep their all the story and like a digit in our database. And for example, especially we have a different accident happen in our life, and accept my call from my son, and can see my wife. He got a tumor in his head, in her head, and it got something happened. So we are so lucky to get through the difficulty. And because of blessing from Master Zongying and my wife recovered good and peace again. And then after 1 year's recovery, my wife got back well, and then she decided to be certified. So you have to come together, we become with your wife, come accompanying her to be certified of the community of Tzu Chi. So right now, my wife like to do the environmental protection, and then I think education is a return to life. So I decide to do this part. I recruit back to my countryside, my country. I donate to build up a bookstore, Tzu Chi bookstore in Tianzong, in Zhanghua, and then I'm most proud of part. It's my honor to become awarded by Tzu Chi University, and this is given by Master Chen Yan. Although I didn't have a lot of touchy story, but from this job, I think this is very important and positive. My experience and my effort. Also, I have another effort, and you can see the capture of the picture is my son, and then he became the medical. He studied a medical school, and then actually he can go to the Taipei University, medical university. Then because he went to America with us, and then his Chinese is not good enough, but he decided to go to Tsinghua University. Now I have the daughter-in-law. They are the classmates. Both of them they stay and work in Tsinghua University, and one is the doctor. Both are the doctor in the working in the Tsinghua Medical School, and we have to stable to guardian Taiwan, especially we at the corner, all the medical patient doctor. We have to keep all the babies from the movie, and we recover quickly from the earthquake. And actually, just like what Master Zhen said, we had a medical mission. Tzu Chi give me the program and the place to do all what I want to become the teacher and become the good doctor. Thank you. And we're asking the wife to come over to the stage, and we are so touching to have both of you. And the doctor of Zhang, please come over to stage. So, can you give the microphone to Dr. Zhang? Actually, you are the first time to listen to Dr. Chen. Please raise your hand. He's the best sharing. His speech is very inspiration and stimulate. I'm giving a big cheers to Dr. Chen. And please tell the measure how many books to publish by Master Chen. I really don't know how to answer the question of Master Chen. And next year, if you come next year, we'll give you 200 books, and you can accumulate and then report to the Master Chen. Yeah. I'm sharing with the Chen Master about you are not just don't have this story. How do you say you have not really good speech? I think here the father Dean. Don't have to share spend meals with students. Found compassion and love as can be played by AI.
And later on, I really hope that you can give us some response on the presentation of Dr. Chen. And I personally feel it is pretty touching. Okay. And I didn't expect that he or Dr. Jian Shouxin would just come up to Kaohsiung. Okay. And it was really surprising to me. Okay. All right. Okay. And what also makes me so impressed is that Dr. Jian Shouxin just showed up once during the pandemic period of time. Okay, it was really, really a big kind of surprise for me, right? Okay, and okay, we also had our previous magistrate like Yang Qiuxing. Okay, and I really wanted to invite him to come over here every week, but I didn't dare to ask. Right? Okay, and I felt so impressed, about Mr. Yang. Okay, right. And when I saw him, and I feel kind of a great honor there. Okay, so today, okay, you are here, and please share about how you feel about today's Anesthesiologist Group of Kaohsiung. And it is really my great honor. It is my second time here, and I remember that okay during my like a process in my life. Okay, Dr. Chen's like a life process is a little bit like mine, and we started very hard, so we just turn over our life. And I had an operation when I was a magistrate. Okay, and I remember that the medical team was kind of from Taipei, and everybody was important to me. So Dr. Chen like applied his like preeminent like skills right to prolong my life, and I have to be grateful toward him, right? Okay. And I'm now 70 years old, and in the future I'm gonna go to the long-term care center, right? And I like this study group, right? Okay, so in the future, I'll be just here, but don't make me sit in the front row, and don't make me speak, right? Okay, I was a politician and I spoke too much, but now I want to change myself. Thank you very much, right? So now he is no more magistrate or mayor Young. So he is our volunteer, right? He just want to come here and enjoy himself, right? Okay, he has nothing to do with politics anymore, right? And I think Dr. Chen, okay, and I were like from the same like a county, and Dr. Chen, ate with his students like 5 times a month, right? It was really a precious chance, right? He is so busy, but he could just do this, right? So I can just witness his passion, and I feel so honored for Master Zheng Yuan to have such a great disciple. And I just told my team member that it is kind of a challenging to me, right? Because it's difficult to choose like which speaker is gonna be better, right? Okay. And I worked in Taichung because Taichung was really close to my hometown, and okay, Master Zheng Yan also said no problem. Okay, yeah, everything is kind of because of a good affinity, right? Just like your wife has a good wife, right? According to the good affinity, right? Okay, and here is a message saying that this is a really compassionate, and it is great to have the Dr. Chen and the Siyuan from Taipei saying that this is kind of a like a safeguard of a life, and you are very humorous, and we really enjoy your presentation. You deliver not only love but also knowledge, right? Ladies and gentlemen, what is Dr. Chen's name? And he is Dr. Chen Zongying, and he is deputy of Ciji Hospital. And I gonna invite him to come over one more time next year to Anesthesiologist Kaohsiung, and we will let him, sign his books. Okay, I will give him like 200 copies to sign. Right, will either be satisfying to you, of course, right? I'm so grateful. Right? Okay. Okay. And Mr. Zheng Yan is always like honest to everybody. And Mr. Zheng Yan was, online, okay, with us on on a study group show. And she says that we are outgoing. And here is a message from Yunnan. It says that, okay, yeah, this is kind of a good PowerPoint, although, I don't know English, but I can just feel that Dr. Chen is really a bodhisattva, and he is tall, standing next to Mei Yun, and you are just like a very shy boy, okay? Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but I feel kind of good and honored, okay, for Dr. Chen, okay? And here is one more message saying that, okay, for your like ambition, and you just work on it, and you were so humorous, right? Yeah, okay. So, well, I think you are so humorous, therefore you got your wife, right? Okay. I think I like children, and I know how to get along with children, and I really have fun with children. So my wife's first impression toward me was that I was a crazy guy, right? And I think, I didn't feel any pressure when I was with, like, when I am with children. But when I am speaking with people like you, of course, I feel pressure, right? Okay, so, Dr. Chen, next time, okay, come over one more time, and just pretend that we were all your children. And here's one more message saying that Dr. Chen, okay, is really kind of a talented, and yeah, and you make people to rethink this life, the value of a life, right? Okay, yeah. So next time, okay, yeah, I really want to invite you to be here one more time. So anyway, because we are running out of time, and this is a great affinity, so you bring us like a further of a positive energy, okay? And just now we had a secret special guest, and that is in BU, okay? And I feel so great honored that Mr. Zheng Yuan, okay, participated in our like a study group, although just a little bit appeared a bit. Thank you so much. Thank you. I feel